Hello. I just wanted to get you excited about conducting classroom action research as we have just concluded with our graduate certificate in learning and teaching. I asked the question, can student engagement be measured and correlated with students' final grades? It's an issue that many of us face as learning facilitators when teaching fully online classes. So I'll just take you through some of the facts and some of the interesting outcomes. So I'll walk through a bit of an introduction, talk about what action research was used, what does the data say, so qualitative as well as quantitative data, and a bit of a reflection. Now, I used the community of practice concept for students and did that in a way through Padlet. So using that digital technology to post information and to try and engage with students. And I sort of looked at it as a bit of a chrysalis, a metamorphic change that I was looking for to try and get students engaged in their groups through the action research. Now, Shibata, in 2021 came up with an engagement framework, and I used the social, cognitive, behavioral, collaborative, and emotional concepts within that, and mapped in the matrix, as you can see, the different quantitative and qualitative activities that I engaged with within the research. Now, we ended up with very pretty looking spider graph. It looks quite celestial, but just didn't really have anything discerning that could come out of it. It wasn't very clear, any correlation at all. But then in breaking down the data, was able to look at the quantitative data on student attendance, so 3 tutorial sessions throughout the 11 weeks of the 12-week term, 1 o'clock being the most popular time slot, but less than 30% of students attended any tutorial session, and 12 students, 34%, didn't attend any session at all. We did see of interest when we had a keynote speaker from Intercontinental Hotels Group, that we had a higher number of attendees. Now, to my surprise and delight, I did see a line of best fit, which is the red line here, suggesting a correlation between total engagement and summative assessment grades in blue. What this means for me is that quantitative research should be followed up over the next 12 months for the new trimesters for this particular course. And let's look in more detail about whether there is a correlation. Now, the qualitative data was a lot more varied. We had information, SWOT analyses that I could put together from students' comments, as well as recommendations that they had on how to improve the course. So through these, and through some formative activities in digital technologies. Sadly, Padlet was not revered as much as I was hoped compared to Blackboard, but other digital technologies were highlighted by students, like Kahoot was seen as the best technology by them, and group discussion was supported. So these two areas are probably worthy of follow-up in action research in further trimesters. Students also looked at engagement in the course, and it was great to see 2 areas, positive behavior to the course, 93%, and cognitive benefits at 93% for satisfactory or better. But there are areas of improvement as well on social interaction with fellow students and collaboration between students. So 2 areas that the students also see are low areas of student engagement. Contribution to learning, Students improved over time in their level of skill and knowledge, which one would hope. And there was some positive comments about me as a learning facilitator and my skill and responsiveness. So action items, repeat, as the model from Kemmis and McTaggart shows on the action research. It's a matter of repeating and changing and learning over time, and also strategies that I've put in place to get to know the students much earlier in the first 2 weeks. Look at one-on-one connections, explain the community of practice at the start of term, and have groups organized well before week 3. On reflection, certainly want to pursue the Padlet community of practice, look at maybe bringing in new technologies like Joy for scheduling of and mapping new activities, and looking at revision to the action research, and realizing that a new cohort of students may be totally different to this trimester, but they're highly likely, it's highly likely that all of them will not participate in live tutorials. So try and find ways of coming up with site inspections, hybrid adventures, utilizing new digital preferences, and asking a new question. Is there a correlation between tutorial engagement and academic grades? So thank you so much. Appreciate your interest.